Hello and welcome to another CK3 video. Today we'll be looking at Khazaria and what if they never fell. So pretty much we will be buffing this nation slightly. I made it so they pretty much won't fall, but there's a possibility they won't win. So if you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let's get into it. The biggest thing that I did to this nation to make sure they didn't fall is I converted the territory to be their religion and culture. A big reason why they usually fall is because they have a lot of different cultures and religion in their territory, so there's a lot of rebellions and people trying to get out. And I also gave the leader a couple of gold, some more traits, so they will expand a little bit, but there is a great chance that this nation can still fall. In my last couple of videos, I may have buffed the nations too much, and we might have done that in this video too, if we're being honest. Hopefully I did not mess it up.
You did.
Hopefully. I'm really hoping. We really need to watch the Byzantines, because Khazaria actually usually falls because of this nation right here. If it is from someone outside, the Byzantines are pretty much the strongest nation in CK3. Everyone knows this at this point, and they have borders with Khazaria, so there's a chance that the Byzantines could kill Khazaria still. You might also be asking, why are we doing a video on Khazaria, this nation? Well, the big reason is they're one of the only Jewish nations in this game. They have a very unique religion and culture, and they're kind of a fan favorite. So I thought we would give them a shot. Hopefully they do well, and if they don't, it will be sad. But I thought, since this nation kind of always does bad, and it's one of the only Jewish nations, it'd be cool to see them strive. Right away, I am nervous that I buffed them a little too much. They have a big chunk up here in the north, and they also got a big chunk below their borders here, and they've expanded everywhere. So they're looking quite huge already. Hopefully they don't expand as fast. I'm going to keep on checking to make sure. No one else has really done too much. The Byzantines, of course, ate the southern part of Bulgaria, and then West Francia's got these disgusting borders. But overall, they're looking quite good, and I might have buffed them too much, but you know, that's fine, right? We can see that Europe is kind of messy right now. No one really has taken the spotlight here in Europe. The one person that's doing really good is Khazaria. So far, we're just in the beginning. Maybe if the Khazaria Empire doesn't fall, it just conquers the world, and that this really was the true power of the world at the time, and that really them collapsing saved the world from world conquest. That's what I'm learning so far. I don't know if that's actually true, but it could be. This was 100% my fear. They were expanding kind of too rapidly, and so their empire split into two. It's Russia and Khazaria now. I don't know what this means, but what's it called? Russia is still the Jewish faith, so that is kind of cool. They're also not a Russian culture. They're actually an Iranian culture up here, which is kind of weird. So I don't know what's going to happen with Russia. Russia might fall apart. It's kind of really weird culture there. Should be kind of Russian. And then Khazaria is starting to struggle a little bit, and I think they should, they're going to pick it up. I think they'll be fine though. Just so there's no confusion, Khazaria changed their name to Bulanid. Thank you for making my life harder. Khazaria has made some border war. This Russia that formed has blown up. It's all the same religion. The culture is all over the place. It's absolutely disgusting. Khazaria themselves is still here, but they are definitely struggling. So I don't know if they're going to make it back. They definitely have done a lot of damage on the map, but I think it's just going to make a huge messy game now. So hopefully they stay together. Not sure if they will, but the map is just disgusting right now. Absolutely. West Francia and Burgundy are looking swell over here. They were apart, but now like West Francia has gotten a lot better. West Francia is able to get Burgundy. I think they're going to be quite good at this game. Iberia is looking divided, but kind of equally. This game is quite interesting right now. Khazaria is struggling. They're still here. I don't know if they're going to get back any of this power, but they're here. As long as they don't die, I keep it as a win. My whole thing is like, what if they never fell? And technically they're still here, so we're good, right? I said something about West Francia and they immediately got divided in half. So maybe I shouldn't mention that. Holy cow, what is going on here? Italy, holy cow, you're looking disgusting. Venice and everyone's borders are just, man, border gore, I tell you, it's rough. Khazaria is still struggling a little bit, but they are just beating on the Byzantines. They haven't got much of the land back up here that they had at one point, but they keep on going to war with the Byzantines. And I don't know why, but it just makes me so happy. They have gone 4 wars back to back with the Byzantines and grabbed a whole bunch of land down here. So I don't know why they're doing it, but keep it up, Khazaria. I am starting to worry a little bit. They are starting to spread a little bit too much east. They are gonna get really close to the Mongols, and I made sure the Mongols will be coming in this video because I kind of disabled them for a while in accident. They are going to get reached by the Mongols pretty fast. I think there's a chance that this nation might collapse because of the Mongols, and that's gonna be bad. They're absolutely whooping the Byzantines, and I'm pretty sure the Byzantines are about to be out of it. They're also starting to attack Russia too, so we will probably see the Byzantines die here in a little bit. Sweden and Finland, though, they're starting to look good. They need to be careful, though, because Khazaria is starting to get really close to them. They both look good, but Khazaria could end their good runs. I actually don't know how this happened, but somehow Khazaria made the Byzantines become Jewish. They have adopted this faith and now are Jewish. Yeah, I didn't realize that they would do that. So yeah, if we look at religion now, it's becoming, this faith is starting to dominate, and that is quite interesting. I really like that, and I'm hoping to see it spread even further. Khazaria might actually get their holy sites. So for the this Jewish faith, all the holy sites are actually here in Jerusalem, and they actually border the last nation. If they take over all of Jerusalem, they get all their holy sites, which gives them a couple more buffs. So that would be pretty. Wait a minute, there's 4 here. Where's the, oh, never mind. It gives them 4 of the 5, but still, they still get a lot of their holy sites, which would be kind of cool. And they actually don't have a head of faith, because to have their head of faith, they actually have to have this territory right here. So it's going to be interesting to see if Khazaria is able to actually take over Jerusalem or not. Sweden and Finland could now outrun Khazaria, and Khazaria has invaded both of them. He's really killing Finland, but he's also taking some land from Sweden. So Khazaria is kind of going to dominate the world. They're actually slowly going more westward, but eastward, yeah, they're really starting to expand. They're actually all the way over here, and that's going to be bad for the Mongols, because I actually don't know if they could beat the Mongols, and if they get invaded by the Mongols, it is going to be a big explosion. Now, this is an empire. This empire looks amazing. They're one of the largest empires I've actually ever seen in this game. So if they didn't fall, they would have been insane. But it is 3 years away from when the Mongols come, and I think it's going to be an interesting battle with the Mongols. The Mongols they're actually going to be kind of tough, and I want to see if they're able to actually beat the Mongols or not. The Mongol invasion has started. The Mongols are at war with our great empire, but I think the Mongols will at least lose this first one, because they're also doing 4 other invasions at the beginning. There's a chance they could win. I'd be shocked. And this is also not for the entire nation, I don't think. I think they usually just go for empires at a time. So they just take a big chunk of land. They wouldn't actually destroy our great kingdom. And I don't think the Mongols will even win this war, because they're distracted. Khazaria has had another name change, and it is quite interesting over here. We can see that they're actually causing a lot of border friction with the Mongols, so the Mongols are going straight south. So I don't know what this really means, but it's kind of interesting to see that the Mongols kind of getting stonewalled here. It kind of feels like the China's like Great Wall of China stopping the Mongol Empire, which I know actually didn't historically work, but you know, it's kind of interesting. Over in Europe, though, we do have some powers that are starting to shine. East Francia is looking good, Aquitaine, and this nation is about to conquer Iberia. So we actually have some big powers that are coming up. To be honest, the only thing that really needs to happen is like just one bad ruler for this nation, and it can all collapse. I've seen it happen so many times. I would not be surprised if we see it collapse at least once before this series ends, this episode ends, so get ready for that. Also, the Byzantines have changed their name and actually are kind of just barely surviving. They're not that weak, actually. They're pretty powerful, but they could be executed at any moment by Khazaria. This nation in Iberia really wants me to talk about them some more. They just got all of France. I don't really know how that's possible, especially because they're an Islamic nation and that was a Catholic nation. So I think they just did a holy war for the entire thing. So this is pretty big. This nation is going to be, they're really powerful. They have like 75,000 troops. So the reason why this is pretty important is because this land over here is much more valuable than most of the land over here. So even though this nation is way bigger, this nation is almost as powerful as this nation just because they have so much valuable territory. So we have someone that wants a little bit of a spotlight, and I'm going to give it to them because that's a pretty impressive nation. I think they definitely could rock some people's world. We have a collapse. They lost a whole bunch of land. This empire popped up, this kingdom popped up, this kingdom popped up over here. They lost a whole bunch of land. I don't think it's going to be the end of them, but that's a lot of power that they lost. So now they're going to have to struggle to get it back while still fighting the Mongols, because the Mongols are still here, and I think they still can be a threat to Khazaria. The Mongols have been defeated, and Khazaria is back on the rise. They're actually kind of looking like a modern-day Russia if they had the other half. You know, they kind of look like the Soviet Union, not modern-day Russia. They kind of look like the Soviet Union, to be honest. They're looking amazing. The Mongol Empire fell apart. This nation over here is doing all right. To be honest, it's really just the Khazaria. It's really just Khazaria, the Byzantines, and Fatid. Fatid, Khazaria, and the Byzantines are really the only nations left. No one else is even close to their power. If we all know who's the best, for sure. It's Khazaria. They're amazing. This blue nation is pretty good, but they're just not the same. Same with the Byzantines. They've lost most of their power. It's cool that they're Jewish. Actually, over half the world is Jewish. Yeah, this is crazy. Don't show this to the skinny mustache man. He'll throw a fit. But this is insane. Close to the end, we have an Indian empire that looks absolutely insane. This is one of the most united Indian empires I've ever seen done by the AI. They're pretty powerful. They have most of India. Ooh, they might actually get all of India by the end of the game. We got like 20 years left, but they're actually looking pretty good. It almost looks like my series that I did. We are at the end date, and I gotta say, Khazaria Empire is looking good, but I actually don't think they're the most powerful nation in the world. I think this nation in the Fatid, in the blue, are actually more powerful, and the reason why is because a lot of the land that these guys own is kind of the worst land on the map. If we look at the development, they have all this land that's not very good up here, whereas in the other, they have all this land over here that is the best land in the game. So I think, and if we actually look at the troop count, they actually have more troops, and they're at war with each other, and Khazaria is losing the war. So I actually think they didn't win the game. I have to give it to the Fatid. They won the game. But overall, they spread the Jewish faith so well. Almost the entire world has it. I would have to say over 50% definitely is the Jewish faith, and I think it's right. They deserve the spotlight. The Jewish faith in almost every game gets absolutely obliterated to the point where they wouldn't make it anywhere past the medieval ages, but they have expanded. This nation also in India is doing super good too. This is actually one of the more unique games, even with the buff. Nations that usually don't do well did good as well. So the Byzantines are disgustingly bad, and it just makes me happy. I love when the Byzantines fail. But overall, this is a interesting game. So if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I shall see you in a new video. See you later. Have a good one. Bye. And there's the culture if you wanted to see it.